With 2.3's release, we also have a very new cool character that was released with it, Firefly. Being a break DPS character, it means that the break effect stat is no longer useless. In this guide, we will be covering the following things. Since she specializes in dealing break damage, that means her skills and traces help with that. Her basic attack is okay and you don't need to prioritize leveling it up. It deals 100% fire damage to a single enemy and deals 30 toughness break. Her skill, talent and ultimate is really where everything lies at. Her skill regenerates 60% of her energy when not in her enhanced state. This is the first character in Honkai Star Rail to regenerate energy on a percentage basis rather than with a fixed amount, and that's because Hoyo wants her to enter her ultimate state as quickly as possible. This unenhanced skill attack also deals 200% of fire damage and deals 60 toughness break, but this doesn't really matter all that much. Instead, when you have regenerated enough energy, you activate her ultimate, now dealing enough damage to make me blush after what I did in 1996. When you activate Firefly's ultimate, she enters into complete combustion, and don't worry, you'll also completely bust as well, resulting in her to advance her action by 100%, letting her deal her enhanced basic and skill attacks, increasing her speed by 60, and also increases her weakness break efficiency by 50%. Since this is super fucking strong, a countdown timer shows up in the action order place, and it has a speed of 70. Once you reach the countdown, Firefly leaves her enhanced state, being demoted from a common rider to a mecha, losing her coolness aura by a factor of 10. This countdown is like Jingyuen's Lightning Lord. The difference is that you will actually deal damage. Oh yeah, and as you may have guessed from the gameplay videos that I've been showing you, she can't use her ultimate when she is in complete combustion state. So her enhanced basic attack and skill, what do? Well, they do all of her damage, particularly her skill. Actually, almost entirely just her enhanced skill. Her enhanced basic attack restores 20% of her max HP and deals 150% fire damage equal to her attack. That's fine, but it's in her enhanced skill where her max DPS exists. Her enhanced skill restores 25% of her max HP and applies fire weakness on an enemy that does not have fire weakness if that enemy is her main attacking focus. It deals 90 toughness break on her main target and 45 toughness break on adjacent targets. And when she deals damage, she deals fire damage that takes her break effect, times it by 0.2, and then adds 200%. It does that, but halved for adjacent targets, but remember that the break effect value stays the same for both calculations. In short, it's a lot of damage. For her traces, they're all really good, so pick them all up. Her A2 lets her reduce toughness of enemies without fire weakness at 55% of the original toughness break. Her A4 lets her convert her break effect into super break damage, and her A6 lets her convert every 10 attack over 1800 into 0.8 break effect indefinitely. A6 is good, but A2 and A4 are much better. For minor traces, pick up the speed traces. The extra 5 speed goes a long way. Also pick up the break effect traces, since that's her main way of dealing damage. When it comes to relics, there isn't really a contest here. You go for the 4-piece Iron Cavalry against the Scourge. The 2-piece effect of an extra 16% break effect is really useful, but the 4 pieces effect is even better, ignoring a base 10% defense on enemies, paired with the relic's 15% def ignore through Firefly's super break damage when she has more than 250 break effect. It means she's ignoring 25% defense, as long as she deals super breaks. Now, not everyone can farm this cavern, it's not the most efficient, hence another safe alternative is the Quantum set. The 2-piece effect is kinda useless, but the 10% extra def ignore alongside with another 10% def ignore if the enemy is quantum weak means you can dish out a lot of damage. Besides that, 4-piece thief is okay, and you can even go for 2-piece watchmaker and 2-piece thief, but these are just not that good in comparison to her signature relic set. For planar ornaments, there's only really 2 choices. The best choice is the Forge of the Kalpagni Lantern, increasing her speed and break effect, but only if the enemy has fire weakness. That is for the break effect and not the speed. However, since you are using Firefly, you will be giving your enemies fire weakness. As a result, this becomes best in slot. Otherwise, go for 2-piece Talia if you don't care about the speed and you do not want to farm Kalpagni. You can also go for 2-piece Space Sealing Station, but it's not really that good. The attack conversion will never be better than either Talia or Kalpagni's effects. I recommend farming Kalpagni since that Planar ornament domain thing is relatively efficient, having both the best in slot for follow-up attack teams DPSs and Firefly's best in slot Planar ornament as well. Honestly, just farm Kalpagni. It's the easiest one and most efficient one to farm. When running your relics, for your body you want attack percentage main stat. For boots, you want speed. For your orb, you want attack percentage, and for the rope, you want break effect. But do not worry, that rope will be very useful because you'll be rope maxing after farming for her. For substats, you want speed as your main priority until you hit 150 if you have Ron May, or 165 if you don't. For the best rotations after reaching the speed threshold, you want break effect substats and then attack percentage substats. Hence, at the end of it all, your Firefly should have the following stats: 360% break effect or more, 150 or 165 speed. Attack percentage can be anything as long as it's above 1800, but honestly, this doesn't need to be a major source of stress for you. Break effect and speed are king here, or more accurately, queen here. Light cones are funny, they're really funny. Her signature light cone is of course best in slot. Its passive giving you a huge amount of break effect, increasing the damage taken by enemies by 24%, multiplying her break damage and therefore super break damage, and also reducing enemy speed by 20%, which can be really good or completely useless. However, it is a limited banner light cone, and so it is not possible for everyone to get. The best free-to-play friendly option is Aeon. If you're using Aeon on another destruction carry, take it off and put them on Firefly. Why? Because of this. S5 Aeon is good because it gives a lot of attack, meaning a lot more break effect through her A6 trace, and if you assume the light cone's passive stacks on top of each other, that's just a lot of break effect. It also increases the damage, so that's a good thing. Otherwise, the 4-star S5 Indelible Promise also works, but honestly, it's not that good. The break effect may seem good, but it isn't as good as Aeon because Aeon provides so much more attack that it trumps the break effect provided by Indelible Promise. Hence, Firefly holding Aeon will deal more damage than most other destruction damage dealers can. However, if you cannot afford to give Firefly Aeon, then give her this 4-star light cone. Her team is very simple, but it is not flexible at all. You want Harmony MC, Ruan Mei, and Gallagher. Harmony MC is a must-use. You cannot use them on any other team if you have Firefly, simply because Firefly's DPS goes down a lot without her emotional raccoon. Harmony MC gives Firefly a lot of break effect, but most importantly gives her another layer of super break damage, meaning she deals 2 instances of super break damage. Firstly, her 50% super break damage, and secondly, the Harmony MC's 160% super break damage. Firefly without Harmony MC is like me without 3 dead bodies in my car trunk. Ruan Mei is your next best support, helping both Harmony MC and Firefly. She increases weakness break efficiency, which increases your super break's overall damage. She also provides a 10% speed bonus on all allies, meaning that you can build your Firefly to 150 speed and not 165 speed, easily gaining an additional action in MOC on your first cycle. It also makes gearing easier, saving you the brain damage you may incur from farming her relics and ornaments. The res shred she provides is great, increasing Firefly's break and super break damage overall. Gallagher is your 4th slot. He's really hot and looks really good, so you should take this as a chance to build him up. He also generates SP really easily, having a higher SP regeneration than even Luo Cha. Hence, your team will never have low SP, usually. He also gives enemies the Besotted debuff, which increases the break damage they take by 12% at level 10. This break damage amplification also pairs nicely with his high break efficiency at E6, letting him deal breaks to enemies easily, which helps Firefly deal more damage. Now you don't need Gallagher at E6, since at E0 he already deals a lot of high weakness break efficiency, but it's nice to have. Now for teams, there is a chance that you don't have Ruan Mei or you can't pull for her. You should totally get her over Firefly in my opinion, since she's the game's current universal support in my opinion. But if you don't get her, have her, or lost your 50-50, you can also use either Pela or Silver Wolf. They help generate SP and amplifies damage being dealt through Death Shed, but at the end of the day aren't nearly as good. They will greatly reduce your Firefly and her team's overall DPS. Alright, so with Firefly Eidolons, they're mostly good, besides E4. E1 basically makes your enhanced skills not consume skill points and they ignore defense, which is obviously really good. 15% defense ignore is really good. Her E2 makes her into Zila, so she kills everything and wins the game, right? If you break a weakness or if you kill an enemy, well, you get to have an extra turn. You know, E3 and E4, everyone knows that they're just talent level ups. They're not that important. They do like a 2, 3, 5% DPS increase at most. E4 is actually really bad. So if you play Genshin Impact and you have Xiao, it's like Xiao E4. If you get to E4, just go to E6, right? Like if you can get to E4, you have the money to get to E6. Otherwise, yeah, bad luck. It's whatever. E6 is good, increases fire res penalty by 20% is really, really, really good, and increased break efficiency is also really, really good. Obviously, you don't need any of her Eidolons. I have E2 because I've been saving up for a while because I really like Firefly. You don't really need E6 or E1 or E2. E0 is super strong. If you're to pull and you don't have Ruanmei, you should definitely go for Ruanmei. Ruanmei is way better than Firefly's Eidolons, right? And also she's a universal support. You can use her on many teams. If you do have Ruanmei, you should, if you want to go for Eidolons, you should go for E1 and then E2 over her Light Cone. Right? Over her Light Cone, you should go for her Eidolons. Otherwise, yeah, there's really nothing more to it. If your pull order should really be, you know, Ruanmei, Firefly, Firefly E1, Firefly E2, and then Light Cone. So that's that. That's my Firefly guide. I hope it was helpful. Just really, really good. And very fun to play. Hoyo has done a great job at making every character feel really unique, right? Also, I'm going to, you know, say something that every content creator says. Please hit the like and subscribe. It will grow my channel. And I am a slot for your validation. Bye.